As I cry in my room alone. Please go away. Leave me alone, Mom. Get out of my bed. Head space in a dark place. Friends leaving me and such. Oh, I want to cry. Oh, how I feel like I cannot express myself. I am full of angst. And you guys have caught me in a bad time of my life here where I have all these pent-up emotions that I have no way of expressing besides through the medium of dark emo poetry that you just heard me write down. But there are different ways. That is how previous generations dealt with their problems there when they were youngins. But we here, as Zoomers and Doomers, have come up with our own method, our own ways of expressing ourselves, like with what we saw with Tumblr and like DeviantArt, all that gay shit. But we learned from that, and we decided not to be as cringeworthy. And our journey kind of starts with this really simple image. Wojak. Now, this isn't really meant to represent like any ethnicity. I guess he's white there, but he's kind of just a young man. There's, it's a template. It's a feeling, really. Like, you can feel what he's thinking there. It's something we've all kind of been through, staring off into the distance there on one of your little walks and stuff, and just thinking about life. And that is why I think this image specifically has really resonated with our generation. Us youngins who are now becoming adults here. There's a lot of soul in this. And that isn't really something you can replicate. But as the people who made this kind of started to grow up here, other people saw the Wojak now, and they started to think it was a little, like, personal. This is why the Doomer was created, for this exact reason. So no longer is this just a blank slate person that can really be made into anything. Now the Doomer is a specific character that represents a group of people that actually exist. I really don't fucking like this iteration of the meme here because it is very, very personal. You can tell that the person who made this listens to fucking cloud rap and feels like he's wasted his fucking life. But that isn't true for everyone who enjoys like the Doomer meme and identifies with Doomerism. I used to kind of do what the Doomer did here, but I don't feel like I never had Tinder and I was never disgusted. I would never have been disgusted to use it. So we learned from that mistake, because these did really become pretty cringeworthy after, like, a few years of doing that. So the Wojak community wanted to move on to something else. The generation that created the original Wojak has now kind of, matured now. Wojak was from, like, some, like, Kraut-chan, I think, something like that. The people who originally enjoyed that Wojak have now grown up. But not, like, differently. The 30-year-old boomer was kind of the, first Wojak, because it was Wojak for years, going, and there was never any, like, other characters. There was, like, that bear guy, but he doesn't really represent any kind of subculture. He's just, like, a retard, you know? But this kind of represents, like a specific generation that exists today, these people who were once young not too long ago, becoming adults now. The 30-year-old boomer's main thing, like the main things he likes to do are play like old video games from his childhood and worry about becoming an adult, like mowing the lawn and stuff like that. It is a very, like, kind of, like, very important moment in your adolescence where you realize you're becoming an adult now and you have to start to take care of yourself. And the boomer here is kind of in between that. Whoops. Yeah, he's kind of in between that. So again, it really resonates with our generation because we are coming up on 30, a lot of us. So, but now the flip side of this And what I think happened here was the people who originally made the 30-year-old boomer were actually people in that situation exactly, which is why it was so popular. The reason why we have Zoomer here is because people who are Zoomers kind of wanted to give their own little piece of what their generation may be like, or maybe it was the Boomers like describing what they think kids are like. But I really think that Zoomers did identify with this character. Yeah, it really was like just like a fixation of their generation and how they felt at the time when they were that age and stuff. So we have another character, since the Doomer, the adult Doomer is like 22 or whatever. There's another Doomer, the Doomer boy. So yeah, he like originally when I saw this character, I really liked him. Because I kind of identified with the Doomer as well. I did a lot of the same things that he did, or like they are just really characters. Like the Doomer is really only known for one thing, which is listening to music and walking alone at night. The Boomer is just known for playing Doom and mowing the lawn. The Zoomer likes Fortnite. These really aren't like hard to understand. They're just one note. They represent like one aspect of like a generation. So I thought originally when I saw this character, I thought he was supposed to represent kind of the teen angst, like the people who grew up to be Doomers. He's very shy there. You really get a sense of what he's about just by looking at him there. You can tell like what his entire personality is. But again, the people who made Doomer Boy, when they were given this opportunity to express to the world what they think their generation is about and like what that time of their life meant to them, this is what they decide to do with it. Yeah, so they essentially turned Doomer Boy here into just another like anime character that they can use for porn. Most of the situations you find Doomer Boy in are just about like being gay and like getting fucked here. He's supposed to be he represents like a younger version of the regular Doomer who's young himself. So like Doomer Boy is supposed to be fucking like a child here, but this artist has decided to have fucking mom calling him up. So again, with the other generations expressing themselves, telling the world what they want to be known for, the twinks here want their generation and this time of their life to be known as the time where they got fucked in the ass a lot. That is really what defines them as a person and what defines their generation and that period of their life. Yeah. So again, this is another, like, more simple character, and you'll notice that there really isn't porn of these other characters because faggots didn't make the Coomer. Other Coomers made the Coomer to mock this aspect of themselves. The Coomer really just represents the desire to fucking masturbate. People will say they're going Coomer or they've become Coomer. Often that, like, smile will just be photoshopped onto, like, a normal person's face, just to show that, like, he's horny and degenerate and gonna masturbate. And, yeah, like, these characters now are starting to get a little more diverse here. They are just, like, representing more specific people and not, like, entire generations as a whole. Tradwife doesn't really represent a real girl. It's more or less, like, the person that Doomer wants to be with, and that's, like, who Doomer is with. Like, you can just tell she's unpleasant just by looking at her. You can also tell she's very unpleasant just by looking at her. She's, like, a very, like, hard-to-please kind of woman there. She's not very impressed with you, and she's kind of settling for you there. But the Tradwife is what you want, but again, like, she really doesn't exist, even in, like, the kind of weird canon of the Doomer universe. This one is kind of my favorite, and he's seldom used. The bloomer is the opposite of the doomer. He sees joy in life instead of just like nihilism and fucking pain. So this is why the bloomer is like almost never used, and he is just like a simple Wojak with a smiley face. Unlike the twink and unlike the boomer who were different, he's like he wasn't expanded upon because they don't feel happy, so they have nothing to say about the bloomer. Wait. Oh yeah, so again, you may think, white man, that you be creating the Wojaks, but you actually be stealing them. So Black Twitter made their own Wojaks. Yeah, they made their own, but they didn't use them for very long. And that's because they saw these Wojaks being used by white people to express, like to tell stories, essentially. And that's what they're for, but they didn't understand that these characters represent, like, generations and kind of, like, attitudes that are prevalent in those generations. These characters really don't represent that. They are just, like, a black woman and, like, a black man and, like, a black child, you know what I mean? So they stopped using them because there really was no soul behind it, as they would have us believe they are creative, but, again, like, there were 4chan, Wojaks that already existed that were better than these ones, and were actually respectful. That, you know, that black guy who goes, that's right! You know, that guy, they had a Wojak of him, and it was, like, really good. So, I really only went through all that to show you that these characters, are really only useful for, like, these short little comics that only take you, like, a second to read. They are just meant to, like, represent a single thought or idea. There isn't really much you could do with them outside of that, except for the twink and like, porn and stuff. But there are people who, really became attached to the Doomer and what he represents, and what all these other Wojaks represent. They really think they're deep people because they were able to catch on to these meanings. They think they're, like, deeply encoded. You have to be a fucking genius to know the twink's a fag. And this is one of them. Our boy, Millennial Thinker. Yeah, he's almost halfway to 1 million subs. And all of his videos are really just, like, the images I showed you are about as deep as a lot of these videos go. You can kind of, just by looking at them, you can kind of guess what they're about here. Why don't we do a little experiment? The reason why I really don't like Millennial Thinker here is, again, because he just thinks he's so deep that he's able to, like, tell the story, these, like stories about, like, people, subcultures that exist, but his only understanding of these subcultures are what you might, gain from them just by looking at these Wojak images. He doesn't have the intelligence into these people to really say anything, differently. So, we're gonna start off with Born to Simp here. I watched this just before, sitting down to film this video, and I guessed exactly what would happen.
My mommy, she is so independent, beautiful, and brave.
She must be really proud of you, Eugene.
Here you go, Eugene.
Yeah, so I was able to guess there, as soon as, like, the teacher started talking, because the 4chan, idea of a classroom is that it's ultra cucked, and, you know, like, progressive and shit. So as soon as, like, they sat down to do, like, a career woman's day, like, who do you look up to? Of course he was gonna say his super single mother who's raising him, you know? So, again, we're back. Like, you know, here's the Mommy Ethot character before, who really is just, like, a bitter person, and who's, like, fucked 1,000 guys, and again, you know, that's all her personality's about. That's all she has going for her, is that she's bitter and that she fucks 1 million dudes, and that now she's, like, settling for this shitty life because she didn't become a trad wife when she was younger. So, yeah, she's fucking old, and she's fucked 100 guys here. So, you know, she's a single mother raising a son, and she's fucked 1,000 dudes. You know, what else do you think you could possibly say about this character? And I was able to guess that there's gonna be fucking Tyrone here.
You some sweeps. I need to go meet someone, so be a good boy and just...
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Game, okay?
It's like, epic roasties fucking the Dindus, haha, haven't made that joke a fucking million times before. I couldn't guess, that being a fucking whore and fucking a million guys, would have made you feel unfulfilled and empty. You're really providing me with some new insight here, but we're not done yet, because, those men grow up eventually, and, a simp. Because this video is about simp, so, how, the simp now is an adult and he has sexual feelings and stuff. So, what do you think the simp is gonna do to receive this attraction from women? If you guessed, like, fucking simp on OnlyFans and Twitch, you were correct. So yeah, he's like a failure.
Hey, Becky.
Yeah, again, like 50 Shades of Grey is the most, like popular women's book, and it's just about like when it expresses women's desire to be like abused by fucking powerful people. I don't know why that was so hard to blurt out, but it is just the most like basic bitch take you could possibly give about women, is that secretly deep down they want to be just like raw dicked and shit like that. That is the impression that you get from these memes, and it's okay because the memes are very short and you just read them in about a second and have a little bit of a laugh at them. But this guy's really trying to be deep here.
I already wrote your chapter development. You want to see?
So yeah, he fails with the girl here.
Oh.
Yeah, the soy jack is a Star Wars fucking
You
thing.
will remember it, and who knows?
He'll have a Switch and like Funko Pops at home.
I have to give myself a plus for that. Oh, look out.
The thing is, like, the animation quality is like really good here. He really should do his own thing here.
You're simp. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You must embrace it. Just show them that you don't care about
Yeah, because, like, that's, like, a thing that e-girls are known for, is just, like, putting gameplay in the background and being a titty streamer. That isn't something we've all known.
I love each of you, and I can't stop thinking.
And that, like, yeah. And that, oh fucking god, like, the streamer girl also has a boyfriend. That isn't a fucking, like, again, I could have wrote that, I essentially wrote that fucking video, like, before I watched it. And they're all like this. They're all exactly like this. Like, and, like, none of them, like, the bloomer here never appears. It's all just, like, doomer shit. You'll notice that ambient noise in the background to create this sense of just, like, dread and loneliness. Yeah, because that's how everyone feels when they look at, like, a happy couple in public, is they feel worthless and like shit because they don't have that. I get the feeling Millennial Thinker identifies way too much with these characters who are just facsimiles of, like, feelings you feel for a few minutes a day, maybe. He really does feel like a loser because he's definitely, like, an incel. I don't mean just, like, a virgin, I mean, like, someone who fucking hates, like, people who were better than him. Yeah, that's another thing about doomer philosophy. Wow, life was so good when I was a little child and I had no fucking responsibilities and everything was set out for me. I wish I could go back to that era and never fucking mature and be a man. And again, he's not doing anything to improve his life. Like, there's no advice. I think, like, he starts, like, this is like Blade Runner or something. Well, I think there is one about Blade Runner. Let's see if we can find that one. But there is one about Blade Runner, but the advice he essentially gives is just like, oh, like, stop feeling sorry for yourself and improve your life. But that isn't really, you're kind of just, like, blackpilling us here all the time. There's, like every person out there is a fucking, like, doomer, Stacy, twink, out to fucking, like, get you. You're really the only enlightened one here. But there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change your life. So you might as well just be fucking depressed and shit like that. There's another one here that I really didn't like. Yeah, there's like the Coomer. Again, the Coomer is just a joke about being horny. Like, that's all it is. But we're gonna get all deep about it, like, you know, like, as if we don't know that being, like, masturbating to fucking porn all day is, like, bad for you and will create a fucked up sense of, like, a self, you know. But we need to be really, really deep about it, as if, like, this isn't something we all knew already. Know what Coomer is means, like, we know to avoid this lifestyle. But this one I really didn't fucking like as a pro gamer, again. So it implies here that, like, the parents kind of babied this child and he spent his youth sitting inside playing video games, which is definitely not a good thing to do. Of course, he turns into Darkside Phil Burnell here as, like, people grow up around him. So, yeah, he's like wasted his life playing video games. Is the impression that they're giving off here. But, so we're in game now. So this is like someone else, I think. Yeah, and he gets lit the fuck up by that, like, loser nerd.
You got bodied so hard.
GG.
GG my ass. You got owned. Scrub. Who use a vector. What a noob.
That was a good match.
Yeah, so, the implication here... Oh wait, there's a line actually.
Yay.
Good.
Of course.
About you. Hello? Are you there?
Yeah, he goes...
Hope you didn't waste your youth for this. That you did not abandon your friends, hobbies, passions, and girlfriends just to impress someone on the internet.
Wow, so... The moral of the story here is that, playing video games, for your whole life is bad for you when you shouldn't do that. The millennial thinker here thinks that if you are cracked as fuck at Call of Duty, it must mean that you are a fucking loser who has wasted their entire life. If you're able to get the drop on this fucking noob, and kill him, it must mean that you are, like, a fucking loser. I mean, it couldn't be because you're just smarter and you know how to play this game better and you just play it on your spare time. It really is, like, mean-spirited here. Millennial thinker, when he gets killed in a video game by someone who's cracked as fuck, like me, he doesn't see that I could just be a normal person who is just really good at this. I have to be a fucking loser who's a doomer and wasted my entire fucking life. There's this one up here. This one also I really don't like because he's talking about femboys here, but he really doesn't understand like what's bad about, like, femboys, because the angle that this video is taken from is of the guy who thinks he might be gay because he watches anime and he has, like, a distorted sense of, like, masculinity and femininity. So he wants to go for a femboy because he believes it's, like, the best of both worlds here, and that he's, like... Yeah, like, listen to that, like, really eerie music to put you off guard here. I think, yeah, he has, like, the Coomer face, when he notices that, like... So, yeah, the implication here is that they kind of, like, spend a few years together, they're all happy and stuff, but, like, as he gets older, like, it kind of, like, fades away. And then he turns 26, and he's not, like, cute anymore, so they break up. Yeah, like, Doomer breaks up with Twink now because he's not as young as he used to be. So, the problem that Millennial Thinker thinks with femboys is that chasers will go after them and take advantage of the femboy. They really aren't gay, they just want to fuck someone who's young and attractive. That's what he thinks the main problem with femboys is. Not the femboys themselves, but the people who go after them. It doesn't really make sense here, because if he was actually gay, which he was because he dated a man for fucking years, The fact that he wasn't a femboy anymore wouldn't bother him because they'd be in love. But again, that's the most like basic pull take that you get about homosexual relationships, is that they end once they hit 30 or whatever. He doesn't understand anything more about the human condition than just what you gather from these fucking videos. And that is why, like, I stopped watching them, because they're all fucking depressing, and they're all just, like, like, really basic, stupid shit. He released one recently, I think, about crypto. I already knew what it was about just by looking at the thumbnail. Yeah. Yeah, so he invests in crypto, and what do you know? It's a fucking bad idea. So, because Millennial Thinker is a fucking retard, most likely, and isn't willing to do the research to understand anything about different subcultures or economics, investing in crypto to him might as well be the same as gambling, and that's how he sees it, because he isn't willing to educate himself on anything. But there is another YouTuber who uses Wojaks as like the primary means of communication for his videos, but he actually knows something about life. He's not just a fucking idiot whose only hobby is consuming Doomer Soyjack comics. So he can actually make good content. And that is my boy, Bizonic. So again, like, all of his content uses like established memes here, but they're actually about like a topic, and they actually kind of have a moral about it. You know, something you might fucking better relate to, because this is about like a specific person here. This is about someone who's like investing in crypto and really wants to make it big. It's not just like a depressed 20-year-old. This channel is for people investing in crypto, and if you are getting into crypto, this video might get you excited about it, and it might teach you something about like the trappings of it. So, yeah, like, you can see all those tattoos there, and what he's trying to say there is that this guy's a crypto newbie. He got into crypto because he wanted Lamborghinis and he had dreams and stuff, so he put all his money into one coin, and when that coin crashed, he lost everything, and he's back to McDonald's. You know, that's an actual fucking story and like a moral that you can learn from, and not just like, don't date femboys if you're not actually gay. And look, here's better imagery than fucking Millennial Thinker could do, because, you know, he's working at McDonald's and he's still young. I think it's... We're just gonna play it out, I guess. Yeah, he has, like, dreams, he has, like, nothing. Yeah, he's still working at McDonald's, he's trying to make it. Yeah, so he's on the subway here, and he's just, like, reminiscing like Wojak does. And yeah, look at that. Like, again, like, that's playing off of what the 30-year-old boomer is. The 30-year-old boomer isn't depressed like Wojak is. He's content with his pathetic existence. And what that's saying here is that, like, if he doesn't get his shit together soon and really start taking his life seriously, he will be, like, 30 years old and fucking retarded and still working at McDonald's. When I saw this for the first time, like, that really fucking meant a lot to me. Like, that really wasn't a feeling I had considered like that before. I already knew that being a femboy was fucking retarded, and I knew, you know, the meme about, like, relationships like that only lasting 7 years, and I knew about coomers, because everyone fucking knows about coomers, and I know about, like, the pee-pee-poo-poos, and all that fucking shit, but I didn't know about, like, cryptocurrency, and, like, what it may feel like to work at McDonald's trying to fucking make it no matter what. Because I was a little bit smarter than that. I never got into crypto because I don't take risks like that. But there are some other people who are risk takers, and that's interesting to go into. But look, here's another thing, like, Millennial Thinker could never be this fucking creative. He tells another story about the stock market, but he does it through the medium of, like, the Stone Age. Oh, we gotta skip this, we might get demonetized. Yeah, whatever, man. Like, he's playing like Fortnite on, like, his rock computer. Yeah, he's playing Rock Knight. He's listening to like Caveman Tekashi 69. So he really, again, like they're just making fun of the Zoomer stereotype here, but it's just there for a joke. It doesn't really have any relevance on the point of this video, which is like that's just fucking hilarious. So the point of this video, so essentially the point of this video is the boomer, since he's old and really doesn't understand technology, doesn't trust crypto, so he's just investing in the stock market. But what Bizonic here is saying is that that might crash, and crypto may also crash, so it's better if you diversify your assets like an actual economist would recommend. That's smart advice there, and they portray it in a funny way here, you know, with like all these people panicking, and, you know, the gods, like, fucking everything over. But again, you couldn't fucking guess that just by looking at the thumbnail, that, like, all this, like, mystical shaman shit would happen, and they'd have fun with the characters and the setting. Millennial Thinker just, like, really thinks, like, he's fucking telling people, oh my god, I gotta find that fucking video. Oh my god. Yeah, like, Millennial Thinker really does believe that his videos are changing people's minds and are fucking helping them. And he fucking put that in a video. I gotta find this. Oh. Fuck. We may have to pause here because it's fucking hilarious. Well, we'll just watch this one in the meantime. Look at this. Soy boy at the gym. So just like guess what this one's about, you know? Like, he's gonna be at the gym, he's gonna be a weak fucking faggot and like squeamish, he's not gonna want to get on the machines, he's gonna use the minimum amount of weight.
Oh hey, my name is Chad Kowalski and I am your personal trainer, Prody. I will write you an exercise plan Something ain't right. He is working out every other day and apparently falls asleep. What are you doing?
Okay, well that one's just about soy. If you drink soy, you will be a fucking emasculated retard. Yeah, you know, the soy meme, that's not something we fucking joke about all the time.
Friend, this is so expensive. Never stop making.
Oh yeah, here it is. This is so fucking stupid. So, the simp video, the one we showed you at the beginning, the point of the kind of the message here is that, like, because he never had a father figure, he went after e-girls online. The simp.
I guess I will take some pictures for me.
So we cut here to Millennial Thinker. This is him.
In the future, your videos will be viewed as art. Old YouTube is not dead yet. I'm glad that YouTube.
This is him writing about himself.
Algorithm recommended your channel to me. The whole truth is in these videos. This is so funny. Never stop making these videos. Dustin O definitely has better videos. Prince of Zimbabwe has better edits. Blue pilled. How do you has a girlfriend? This is so unrealistic. I don't get it.
So yeah, he really thinks he's saving an entire generation of these fucking doomers and boomers here with these fucking videos. But they don't, like, again, they're just black-pilled, like, fucking, like, black pill porn, you know what I mean? It's just like clown world, you know, depression porn, essentially. There's no, like, happiness in these at all. The characters are never happy or successful. He never tells you how to be happy and successful. He just tells you to stop being depressed. But again, all of his content just is fucking depressing. So, you know, instead of improving, like, the actual, like, ideas that he has here, he's just gonna improve, like, the base quality of his content. Yeah, I really have to fucking Sigma grind here to save these people. They need to know that being a coomer and masturbating in your fucking basement for your entire life is not good for you. maybe the people who like Twink Jack are this retarded and need shit like this spelled out for them. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of like Know Your Meme, or like those channels where people explain movies to you. I really don't like that. Let Twink Jack let him be personal to me. You don't make him a fag, okay? Okay, you got that, you fucking simps? Make some bad content. But I gotta go make some more content. I gotta go back to writing my fucking Death Note diaries here. Death Note, violence in my head. Just wanna lay down in bed. You can probably tell I'm not fucking creative here at all. Yeah, we'll just draw Twink Jack, actually. We'll draw him real fast. What does his hair look like again? Yeah, here it is. I'm not good at drawing hair, so forgive me. Oh, I've already fucked up. Well, I mean, this doesn't look bad, actually. Like, Coomers would masturbate to what I'm, like, doing right now. Oh, shit, Twink Jack doesn't have an ear, does he? No, the Wojaks don't have ears. You can't forget that important lore detail there. I got the nose wrong, but it's not too late for the eyes. Very thick eyebrows there. And again, I can't really draw hair there, but I guess it doesn't matter. Almost done. Yeah, so there he is. There's the Rudy Doomerjack that you can use for porn. His favorite fetishes are anal-vor. He likes to be degraded and shit on. Anal-vor isn't possible, but he likes to be degraded and humiliated, manhandled, treated like a woman, a sissy, spat on. Don't respect him at all. Yeah, he has no value to his life. He doesn't see himself as valuable at all. Yeah, he can't just be degraded. Yeah, so treat him like that. That's what you should use him for. You have my permission. That is established canon for the Rudy Twink Jack. Yeah.